Hi, I've been using my HCalory Diesel Heater for about a week now. Got a little bit to say about how it's been working. I'm heating this toy hauler trailer that I use as an office. It's mostly insulated, um, uses diesel fuel. Got my electrical block in here. This is a very temporary setup, just getting things going. In the week that I've been using it, I've been very happy. It puts out a lot of heat, keeps my space warm. I can control it from inside. The remote control does have a battery in it. The LED is very light in color, so it's hard to see, and there's really no indicator. So when I start this from inside the house, there's no way to know if it's turned on. I just have to come outside and listen for it to be running or something like that. So the remote control does work. I have also been using the app. I like that better because I have feedback. I know that it's turned on from inside the house before I come out here to the office. So if you're interested in the setup and some other stuff that I have to say about it, I continue here going back in time to where I'm setting things up and stuff. So keep watching. In the process of setting up my HCalory Diesel Heater, saw this on YouTube and thought this is the heater for me. I need to use something to supplement my office heater. I have an outside office, and this is just getting up to temperature. It's getting to where, I don't have a thermometer, but it's getting to where I can definitely feel the heat coming out of here, and it's getting hotter. It's getting to where it's going to get uncomfortable there. So that's what I want. I want a lot of heat. I do want to, shout out for having an extension cord for the control panel that comes with it. And I'm able to plug it in to 110. That's a big part of why I bought this one. I didn't want to have to try and figure out my own conversion, even though it's not that hard. You just find something. The duct that came with it is a unique size, which is a pain, and it's kind of trash. I'm trying to expand it, and it fell apart. If you look inside here, it's all torn up just from trying to expand it. After this happened, I was super gentle trying to get more expansion out of it, and it's just falling apart. So that is bad news. That is a big hit against this thing. And I do have another one that I bought because I wanted to try and backfeed air from the office into this, which was going to be another project. I was going to 3D print a part and all that, but I'm going to have to use this one now. Hopefully this one expands properly, and use that here to feed into my office. But that's definitely getting toasty. This is 5 liters of diesel. I filled up a 5-gallon can for just under 20 bucks. So hopefully this thing saves me some money. My electric heating has been just outrageous. But overall, I'm optimistic, but definitely just disappointed in that. So what the hell? In just a minute, I messed with this other pipe that I bought. It is a different kind of expansion. It holds up a little bit better. It feels like plastic, so I'm not sure how this will hold up to the heat, but this is what it's made for. It is aluminum on the inside, so we'll see what this coating is. But it's getting too hot now to mess with, so I put this other messed up one on here just to see if it expands better after it's warmed up. It's about 20 degrees in the shop here, so maybe that's too cold for this, but I'm going to mess with that now and just see if I messed up because it was too cold. That did not make any difference. As you can see here, it is still, I think it's pretty much maxed out on how far it can expand. So that means that there's, less than 2 feet of pipe here. I'm not sure. So around 2 feet. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. In my setup, that's definitely not enough. So if you're buying this on Amazon, definitely purchase the other expanding piece of pipe that goes with it that's probably suggested somewhere. And I'll keep going with updates as we go here, but that's definitely nice and toasty now. We've been running maybe 10 minutes, so I'm liking it. All right, before I take this out and start getting it set up on my shop, I'll just show it came with that other piece of junk that comes with a controller and a remote. Battery's not included. Comes with a vent for inside. Comes with some other connection pieces. You can anchor the exhaust. It comes with, this would be for operating it off of a battery or 12 volts operation. Over here we got the heater running. Inside you can see there's the heater, there's a tank, there's a nice steel box. I don't love this. You got a nice box that seems weatherproof, but then you got holes right here. So I'm going to put something over this or build a whole shelter for it. I'm not sure which yet. You can see here the pump is running. I cannot hear the pump over the sound of the blower, So as it was starting up, I could hear it. My setup's going to have this outside with the heat ducting in, so I'm not worried about the noise. You plug in the back here, cold air comes in, or return air. There's no way to connect return air here. Some people I've seen have drilled this out. My plan, if I decide to do return air, is to use adhesive, and I'm going to design and 3D print an adapter that will feed here, and then there's a space. I'm okay with that for return air. If air comes in from other parts of the box, that's not a big deal. Keep my office pressurized. Down inside, not much else to see. Those power controls, the pump is fixed in place, and the wire right here. I don't know, what else do you want to see? And then the exhaust right here. So it's running, it's working. A lot of the heaters out there, you don't have space between the legs and the exhaust. This one definitely has enough space, and in my setup, this is going to be wide open here on the table. So I'll have a piece of 1-inch insulation from another project I'm going to use. This will go inside of a window. I marked the circles. I couldn't find my calipers, and I don't have the right size hole saw, so I just used this, matched it up to the outside diameter of the pipe that's going to go through here, and then just pressed it in here, pushed real hard, rotated it, pushed it again, and I'll average out these lines. You can see here it's a little bit wider than whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect, and if I really want to get picky, I will go back with some caulk when it's a little bit warmer outside. Okay, and I didn't show how it was cut, made some awful noises, but pretty much all I did was I made some like pizza slices out of it, and then just plunged down a bunch of times to follow that line, kept my blade in line with it, flipped it over, connected all the dots, and then pushed it out. By putting the pizza wedge slices through it, made it real easy to pop out without breaking any of the foam around it. And I'm not going to cut this one out until I have more pipe for a return air line. Okay, so I'm not going to make you watch all the finishing touches, but here's what I got. The wire comes in under the foam. I'm going to use 2-sided tape to adhere this. I pulled all the slack out of this. I'll get it installed or get it trimmed down and then put in the window. And then there might be enough here to go back to the return air vent, and watch for a future video on that. But I'll cut this one out next weekend or 3 weeks from now, or maybe never, but we'll see. Let's go outside. Okay, I just turned it on. It's still doing its startup cycle. It takes a few minutes. Got the exhaust hanging out down here. This is a frame for a table that I had already. It's made out of treated lumber. I'll probably make something smaller so I can reach this part of it easier. I don't like having this in the way. Definitely refueling is going to be an issue. I might give myself a little bit more slack on this just so I can move this thing. I'm going to put a strap over it to keep it from moving. I got some really fancy tape to keep that lid enclosure sealed up, and then I got to do something about the power here. Probably put that in some kind of a plastic box, or maybe see if I can just run that from inside as well. But that's the heater. I'll check in one more last little clip, see how we're doing on the inside. I tried putting the vent cover on. It was too hot to work with, but in that time, in the 10 or 15 minutes that it was running, this office space warmed up 10 degrees almost. So I'm very happy with the amount of heat this puts out. I might not have to do a return air vent. We'll see. But I'm gonna get this buttoned up a little bit more. I'm happy with this thing. I think it's definitely going to keep me warmer, save a few bucks, because these little heaters here are just expensive to run. So, thanks for watching.